Now, the South Plains First News in high definition. This is KCBD News Channel 11 at 5.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. I'm Shaley Sanders. Right now, several severe thunderstorms are starting to pop up and head east towards Lubbock. John says some of us could see large hail, powerful winds, and lightning. He is tracking it all from the First Alert Forecast Center. John, what can we expect this evening?
Well, Shaley, as you mentioned, large hail and high winds have been the primary concern. We've already had reports of that earlier in Bailey County, even down in Yoakum County. We had a report that just came in, but about an hour ago, potential baseball-size hail west and southwest of Plains. We had reports of close to baseball-size hail in Muleshoe. Those haven't seen any photos on it yet, but we'll show you some of the photos and even some damage up in Muleshoe. Strong winds there. Some of the strongest thunderstorms really are still the cluster in the northwestern areas of the South Plains, and that line extends generally west of 385. It's still northwest of Littlefield. Moving into Sudan, heavy rain, thunderstorm activity moving towards Spring Lake and Earth. Primarily, it's going to be strong winds, potentially some hail with that, especially in the Earth community. And then the strongest part of the storm is likely near Sudan, right down near the community of Maple and southeastern areas of Bailey County. So again, there is a thunderstorm warning, and you can see the strongest part of that storm there. Earlier, there was a wall cloud associated with it. This thunderstorm warning in effect till 5:45, so it is tracking out of southern Bailey County into the west-southwestern areas of Lamb County. We've been watching it closely with the wall cloud formation. That means there's some rotation and lift with it, and keep in mind there is a tornado watch in effect for all of the South Plains till 10 o'clock. Another thunderstorm, a lone one here, approaching sundown, but a warning on that one. Once again, it may be some large hail associated with it, very heavy rainfall and winds at least 60 miles an hour. And then the other strong thunderstorm, severe wind just southeast of Plains, although there is another one developing west of Plains. All of these are generally moving east at about 18 to 20 miles an hour. This one may have some large hail, at least 2-inch in diameter, associated with it. A few of those thunderstorms further north in Cochran and Hockley County are moving probably about 30 to 40 miles an hour. So big concerns there. And Shaley will have the complete forecast and see what's going on as far as the weekend coming up.
Okay, thanks so much, John. With severe storms in our forecast, now would be a good time to download the new KCBD weather app. The app offers better features, including a lightning alert and live radar. Now, if you already have the app, it should automatically update, but if you don't, just search KCBD in your app store. A Friendship ISD teacher has resigned after she wrote a controversial post on Facebook. You'll remember yesterday we told you that the Friendship ISD relieved Karen Fitzgibbons of her duties at Bennett Elementary School. Now, although she was relieved, she was not formally fired or dismissed from her employment with the district at that time. This afternoon, Friendship ISD released a statement saying they accepted her resignation effective immediately. The controversy started when a video of a McKinney police officer's response to a rowdy pool party went viral. Fitzgibbons shared an article about the officer's resignation on her Facebook and expressed her anger over the situation. Synthetic marijuana is becoming a problem across the state of Texas, but here in the Hub City, it's a growing issue, and it has been for years. State lawmakers have widened the spectrum for illegal synthetic drugs in an attempt to keep up with the ever-changing chemical compounds. KCBD News Channel 11's Gloria De Leon joins us now with more. Gloria.
Shaley, for years, the city and state have been working on ways to ban this dangerous drug. And UMC tells us since May 31st, not even 2 weeks ago, they've seen at least 21 cases of patients reacting badly to the drug. But Governor Greg Abbott signed a law at the end of May, which will take effect beginning September 1st, making it a felony to possess, distribute, and manufacture the synthetic drug. Another bill Abbott signed would essentially ban the drug completely here in Texas, something Lubbock City Councilwoman Carrie Gibson says she's proud of.
This will be a blanket across Texas. This is a win for everybody. This is a win for the whole state. I'm happy for everybody. I think it's going to be good for the community.
The DEA tells us they've handed out multiple search warrants relating to synthetic cannabinoids that are sold in smoke shops. Multiple people were detained and questioned, but no arrests were made. Earlier this week, Just Smokes was raided and shut down. It remains closed today. Now, coming up at 6, we'll have UMC's efforts to educate everyone in the dangers and health risks involved with a synthetic drug. Shaley.
Okay, thank you so much, Gloria. We have new details on an American Airlines flight that had to make an emergency landing here in Lubbock last night. The plane with 140 passengers on board took off from DFW International Airport and was heading to Sacramento. About an hour after takeoff, the captain says a warning light came on indicating a clogged engine oil filter. The captain safely landed the plane just after 6:30 last night. The flight was rescheduled and left Lubbock this morning. New at 5, a federal judge has sentenced a 25-year-old man from South Texas to 2 years in prison for aiming a laser pointer at a DPS helicopter. A U.S. attorney's statement says Jose de Leon was sentenced in McAllen following his guilty plea back in January. He was sentenced to 2 years in federal prison, followed by 1 year of supervised release. K-9 units, helicopters, and at least 500 members of law enforcement are helping search for 2 escaped inmates in New York. After nearly a week on the run, it appears the search area may finally be tightening around the 2 men. Investigators found food wrappers and the imprint of a shoe. Now, it's not clear whether they are traces of the 2 convicted murderers, but tracking dogs have picked up a scent.
If this is an actual true lead that the dogs are following on, we hope to be successful within the next 24 hours.
The dogs picked up the scent at a gas station about a mile from the prison. Authorities are reviewing what security video there is from the store. Now to Capitol Hill and a humiliating defeat for President Obama. A coalition of House Democrat and Republican members ganged up on the Pacific trade deal backed by GOP leader and by Obama, and they knocked it off the fast track. Steve Handelsman has the latest from Washington. Steve.
Shaley, thanks. This was not the last word on this here on Capitol Hill, but it does say a lot about the power and the influence these days of this town's top Democrat.
Hello, everybody.
President Obama lost on the trade bill that he backs, and he got embarrassed.
Another procedural snafu has emerged.
More than 3/4 of his Democrats in the House voted no, blocking action on the Trans-Pacific Partnership, arguing that it would help Asian firms sell cheaper goods and cheaper commodities in the U.S., but would hurt American workers.
You lose your good job that has pension benefits and a good wage that can take care of your children for a job after you go through the ringer that pays less than half.
The president motorcaded to the Capitol today to personally lobby Democrats, but even Nancy Pelosi voted no.
Whatever the deal is with other countries, we want a better deal for America's workers.
Obama loyalists are stunned.
So why would you now not trust him?
Why? Big unions that helped re-elect Democrats hate the trade bill. They applaud today's vote.
Well, we see it as a win for American workers.
Republican leaders pushed fast track.
We can use American ingenuity and American work to create American jobs.
But the Obama bill got blocked by most House Republicans, too.
I don't think you ever nail anything down around here. It's always moving.
Still, the Pacific trade deal is not dead. The Senate has already voted to move ahead. House Republican leaders say they may try another vote next week. From Capitol Hill, Steve Handelsman, KCBD News Channel 11. Shaley, back to you.
Okay, thanks so much, Steve. A political tradition for nearly 40 years has come to an end in Iowa, at least for the upcoming 2016 campaign. Republican leaders in Iowa agreed to end the presidential straw poll since the 2016 poll of GOP candidates is one of the largest fields in history. The straw poll was once considered an early test of campaign strength and required potential candidates to make contributions in order to have a spot in the poll. Some of B.B. King's children say there is a second will. This week, an attorney filed documents in Las Vegas saying King's business manager is unqualified to be the executor of the estate. The filings also suggest he gave King improper medical care. They also say she stole his wealth and changed the locks to his house. Arguments have now been scheduled to take place June 22nd. 2 children were kidnapped when Memphis police say a 28-year-old man jumped in their car and then took off. Tonight they are back home safe, but now one of the victims' mothers is talking about this horrifying ordeal. Felicia Bolton has the story.
It was an unbearable, oh my gosh, indescribable pain just to consider the possibilities of what could have happened to them. What might have happened to them.
Tajma Phillips says she ran in her house for water and left her son and another boy alone in a running car. Within minutes, police say Reginald Macklin got in and took off.
I guess I was numb. I was confused, you know. I left the car right here. what happened? You know, okay, the car's gone, but the kids are in the car.
Police say after he drove away, he punched the 10-year-old boy in the face and threw him out on a curb. Macklin worked less than a block away and lives directly across the street from Phillips. His mother says he has mental illnesses and was running for his life from teens who've been terrorizing her son and the neighborhood. She doesn't want to show her face because she's afraid of them too. His boss at a local store gave us this surveillance video to back up the story.
The guys jumped on him for no reason at all, and he was running saying they trying to kill him.
It shows Macklin being attacked while sweeping the floor. They used brass knuckles.
They was ganging on him, and he did the only thing he could do in fear for his life because he is bipolar, manic depressive, schizophrenic.
Despite his condition, both moms say he must pay for his actions.
I do empathize with him, but I just hope he gets the help that he needs so he doesn't do this to somebody else.
Regardless of his mental situation, I know nobody is above or beyond the law.
He is now facing 2 charges. Coming up later on KCBD News Channel 11 at 5, Twitter's making a big bet on private messaging by removing character limits. But first, a look at the wet weekend ahead. John will be in next with your complete First Alert forecast.
Weather coverage you can count on. This is the First Alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist John Robison.
Good evening. Isolated thunderstorms still quite strong across portions of the South Plains. They developed right along the Texas-New Mexico state line. You can see the activity now. Strongest storm still in Bailey County, moving into Lamb County. This one has a history of producing large hail, strong winds, and in some cases a wall cloud or two associated with it. But fortunately, no funnel or tornado development seen at this point. It's actually a line of thunderstorms, and they picked up in speed, moving generally east. Activity now all the way over to Olton along Highway 70 and the 385 area near Spring Lake and Earth, back down along Highway 84 near Sudan and Amherst, extending back into the southeastern corner of Bailey County. Intense lightning associated with this storm system and some wind gusts that may top out at least 50 to 60 miles an hour, if not stronger. So there's a warning in effect on that complex, particularly the area right here from Bailey County to northwest of Littlefield. So for those of you in Littlefield, you can see where the warning is there. Be prepared to maybe some very large hail heading into your community and strong winds as well. We'll give you an idea of what that looks like going to our tracker, and you can check hail at least 2.8, so approaching 3 inches in diameter. South wind is moving south at 17. Actually, it's building south. The overall storm is still moving generally east-southeast. It may have slowed down a little bit, but averaging around 15 to 20 miles an hour. So again, we're looking at the part of the storm it's actually building to the south. That's why that one's going south. But the overall storm still moving, as you can see, generally the east and southeast. Another thunderstorm down in the areas southwest of Levelland near sundown. Looks like it has weakened in intensity moving through that community. So that'll be good news for folks in the Levelland area and southern areas of Hockley County. That would be the storm that might impact us in Lubbock if it continues to track in that direction and head our way. Then another very strong thunderstorm down here in Yoakum County. It produced some large hail earlier, working its way between Denver City and Plains, edging into the eastern open areas of Yoakum County. That is moving into southwestern areas of Terry County. And again, as we check the hail tracker and speed on that, it is moving southeast at 18. Does have some hail of at least 2 inches in diameter and some very heavy rainfall potential. A couple of these storms have very strong potential, producing some localized flooding in addition to the winds and large hail. A little bit of activity down in Gaines County. Nothing really around Lubbock at this point. Nothing really around Seminole, Lamesa that's significant. So we're kind of watching this, and we're watching this cluster here. If it continues to build to the south, it may become a larger complex and work its way not only through Littlefield, maybe down towards Hockley, Lubbock, and Hale County during the next hour. So that is really the strongest part of the activity, at least going on right now. Let's show you some photos. A lot have been uploaded to our Twitter page, and in this case, we're looking at our Facebook page as well. This one from Sarai Gonzalez. I hope I got that correct. Anyway, that shows the heavy rainfall. They've estimated close to 2 inches in the Dimmitt area. Storm in Muleshoe did cause some damage. It dumped some hail, reported up to baseball size, so you can see that indicated there. And then again, lightning, and this looks like the New City Park in Muleshoe. The winds there, along with the lightning, but the winds took a tree out apparently, so they did have some strong winds there. And look, Heavy rainfall, last we saw, amounts around 3/4 of an inch. I did see a rain gauge photo from Muleshoe showing close to an inch of rain there. Quick look at the instant data before we get to our forecast in Lubbock. And we do have several chasers out. We've got units out northwest of Lubbock. We've got Cutter Martin and another unit southwest of Lubbock. So we're watching things closely. We're sitting at 82 degrees right now. There was a 1/10 of an inch of rainfall here at the station this morning. Humidity 58, southeast wind at 12, and a wind gust today of 28 miles an hour. Your primary threats for the evening, obviously some large hail, that's in a high category, even a stronger potential for strong winds, maybe in excess of 60 miles an hour. Fortunately, a tornado threat is not eliminated. It's light right now. That could change, but we'll keep it in that category. Flooding will be an issue, especially later tonight, Saturday and Sunday, and lightning will be an issue throughout the weekend, especially at this point. Very high potential there. Your raincast, well, we know the activity now will make its way across the South Plains. Showers and thunderstorms back northwest, Friona to Dimmitt. That activity in the morning hours tracking its way across our region. Some isolated heavy rainfall, likely not to be severe, but there may be some heavy rainfall. Another round tomorrow evening, mostly heavy rainfall, and that potential will linger all the way into Sunday. Continue the chance of rain, and rain chances you'll see in a 7-day will continue into Monday and Tuesday. 60s in the morning for lows, milder to the southeast. Your highs tomorrow, generally mid-80s, much like we've got today, just enough to allow those thunderstorms to get fired up. 7-day numbers showing 80s for the weekend as we cool down, staying into the 80s Monday and Tuesday. The main thing is the rain potential extending all the way into Monday and Tuesday, Shaley.
Okay, thanks so much, John. Twitter is changing the way users chat privately. Starting next month, Twitter will remove its 140-character limit on direct messages. Private messages will have a 10,000-character maximum instead. So what does that mean for the public side of Twitter? Well, nothing. Regular tweets will still be limited to 140 characters. Some say the move could be an indication that a separate messaging application may be in the works, similar to what Facebook created with Messenger. Stay with us. HealthWise at 5 is next.
Bringing you the latest health coverage and medical news. Here's Karen McKay's HealthWise at 5.
A new reason to include nuts, just plain nuts, in your diet. More on that in a moment, but first a question in our segment HealthWise at 5. How often do your kids drink water? Just plain water. More than half of kids and teens are not drinking enough water, according to a new Harvard study. Data from over 4,000 children showed nearly a quarter of the kids in the study reported drinking no plain water at all. African Americans were at a higher risk of dehydration, and boys were at a higher risk than girls. Inadequate hydration has been linked to headaches as well as poor physical and cognitive performance. To discourage women from indoor tanning, it's more effective to show them the dangers rather than simply telling them. That's according to Georgetown University researchers. They tested the impact of showing nearly 700 women photos of women who avoided tanning beds and had healthy skin. Other images, though, showed the risks, including various stages of melanoma, the most dangerous form of skin cancer. In surveying the women afterward, most women agreed the pictures were much more convincing than the simple warning labels currently written on tanning beds. And a new study reveals eating about a handful of almonds, pecans, and other nuts a day could help you live longer. Dutch researchers analyzed the nut consumption and mortality of over 100,000 senior citizens. People who ate at least 10 grams of nuts or peanuts a day had a lower risk of dying from cancer, diabetes, respiratory illness, or heart disease than those who did not eat nuts regularly. So what if you really like peanut butter? Researchers tested that too and found there was no connection there, just more calories. Experts believe the nuts in their original form have the most vitamins, fiber, and antioxidants and may factor in to lower death rates.
All right, thanks so much, Karen. And still ahead on KCBD News, Channel 11 at 5, new technology to give stores an edge when it comes to competition with online shopping.
Now, the South Plains First News in high definition. This is KCBD News Channel 11 at 5.
Last year, consumers spent $300 billion online, but new high-tech gadgets are starting to give brick-and-mortar stores an edge as well. Josh Green reports on how Microsoft is developing technology that could change the way we shop.
The dressing room knows what items I'm bringing in.
From a touchscreen in the dressing room,
what other sizes are available,
to a time delay mirror that lets you check yourself out fully.
You can see what you look like on the backside.
Cool.
The Microsoft Retail Experience Center is revealing what technologies could give brick-and-mortar stores an edge.
You've got a lot of increased pressure coming from online retailers, if you will. Some might call this the Amazon effect.
I order a cup of coffee.
Microsoft says a growing number of businesses are using beacon technology.
Yeah, this is a $15 to $20 device that essentially emits a unique number that my phone can see. As I approach the store, my phone sees a Bluetooth sensor, and when it does that, it notifies the barista over here that I'm in proximity to the store and they should start making my coffee.
We asked Microsoft to tell us which of their clients are using Beacon, and we're surprised when they said they couldn't tell us. But Microsoft promises that technology can help stores, can tell them who's shopping at that point, how long they've been there, and if they've been helped.
I also show what products the customer's most likely to purchase. There's a 75% chance they're here to buy this game. At first glance, it's kind of creepy, but the interesting thing is that everything we're doing on here happens when we're on the web.
Microsoft says it stresses to retailers they should be transparent about what info they're collecting and also give customers the chance to opt in from the start. From a smarter vending machine to billboards that turn you into the model, technology is giving new life to the term smart shopping and selling.
Try accessories like maybe some
We'll be right back with a final look at your forecast. John?
That's right, Shaley. We're going to start with the Doppler radar again. Some very intense thunderstorms in the Lamb County area. You can see those tracking generally east-southeast, particularly north of Littlefield and in the Spring Lake Earth area around 385 north of Littlefield. See the pattern there, how those storms are tracking generally to the east and southeast a little bit, but the overall base of that, by the way, is developing to the south, especially down into Cochran County. A little activity here, but overall you'll see the pattern. I'll put the arrow. It gives an indication that is moving into Littlefield. Activity here is moving into western areas of Hale County. Shaley.
Okay, thank you so much, John, and thank you for joining us. We will see you right back here for the news at 6.